So what I'm presenting you with today is a master recipe for eggplant, and this is the one with the glass bowl on the cover of the card, all right? And all of the recipes today have been made from this master recipe. So if you get your eggplants home and you're really not sure what you want to do with them yet, go on and prepare this master recipe and then you can decide, okay? So when you do the master recipe, I like to take the leaves off the eggplant only because if you don't, I find that you avoid cutting to the very end of the eggplant and you're wasting a little bit when you do that, okay? Use a sharp knife or a serrated knife if that's easier for you to use, and go on and chop your eggplant into about somewhere between 3/4 and 1/4 inch thick discs, okay? Now remember, I'm not peeling this guy here, and I'm just cutting them down the way. And this is one of the most popular ways to bake or roast eggplant. All right. Some other ways that you can do it, of course, are cut it into chunks. You can also cut it into what are known as planks, which is when you just go down lengthwise. All right. And then another very typical way, if you have a gas stove, is to take the eggplant and just put it whole on top of the burner. Okay. You can also achieve this with a grill if you like. But if you do this, what you're going to do is impart a nice smoky flavor to the eggplant. You will have to turn it every so often with tongs. But this is most often used for a lot of Indian or Middle Eastern dishes if you're going to make a dip and you want a nice soft texture throughout the eggplant while still keeping it intact for easy handling. Once this is cooked, and you'll see it collapse, so you might make a little mess in your burner, and that's okay. You can always clean it, okay? But you'll take it off. You will let it sit. You might want to vent it a little bit so some steam escapes, because be careful. Eggplant's about 90% water, so there's going to be a lot of steam that's going to build up in there. And then once you have that, you can cut it lengthwise, scrape the pulp out to create a stuffed dish. You can scrape it all out and put it in a food processor to create a dip like we're going to do today. Or there's a host of other varieties. So there's a lot of ways that you can cut an eggplant. Today, we're just doing the slices. So once you lay these all out on your cookie sheet here, I'm going to do a couple different kinds. If they're all about the same size, then they're not really going to cook differently from variety to variety. I will say that this one is my favorite, the one that I'm cutting now. This is similar to, this is an Italian variety, and I find it's just very, very sweet and creamy naturally, but it's also one that I grew up eating. So, and then I'm putting it on a parchment paper lined cookie sheet. All right, you can also use aluminum foil. If you don't have either, you can spray it with pan spray, and that will achieve the same effect. You just don't want it to stick, because if anyone's tried to scrape eggplant off a cookie sheet, it's really frustrating. Okay, I've got some oil here, and I'm just going to drizzle it with oil. And this oil is already seasoned, but you can go on and then just season it with salt and pepper and put it in the oven, which I'm going to do here.
What kind of oil is that?
That was olive oil. I prefer to use olive oil, but you can use whatever oil that you like to use, okay? Once you've got it in a 400-degree oven, all right, you want to bake it for until it's done is kind of what I say, but it's going to be maybe about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, okay? And I'm pretty sure that's what it says on your card. Yeah, 15 to 20 minutes. So check it. After 15 minutes, you want the undersides to be a little bit browned, and then for the last 5 minutes, you'll go on and flip them, and then that way they will be evenly colored on both sides, and they'll be delicious just like that, okay? So that is going to be the master recipe for y'all to work with. I magically have a tray already done here. And this is what they look like when they come out. So you can see they're pretty evenly brown. They've shrunken quite a bit. And they do have that nice slick of oil and salt, which is going to give it quite a lot of flavor.